The Darwin Aviation Museum is an accredited Northern Territory tourism attraction hosting 30,000 visitors each year. The Darwin Aviation Museum is the commercial arm of the Aviation Historical Society of the Northern Territory. The society was established in December 1976 by a group of enthusiasts who sought to preserve aviation artefacts and World War II aircraft salvaged after the destruction resulting from Cyclone Tracy.
The Darwin Aviation Museum showcases the achievements of pioneering women in flight, particularly the famous Amy Johnson, who was the first female pilot to fly solo from Britain to Australia, landing in Darwin in 1930.
Stratofortress 92596, Darwin's Pride, was manufactured at the Boeing Aeroplane Company at Wichita, Kansas, and entered USAF inventory in December 1960. The aircraft began its preparation for its last flight on the 1st of September 1989, when it was chosen to come to this Darwin Museum. Some 18,000 man-hours of voluntary work of the 43rd Maintenance Group from the Guam base went into the presentation. The Guam project was called the Glossy Aussie. It was given a proud farewell from Guam early on March 27th. Most of the personnel on Guam and their families on the Anderson Air Force Base formed a guard of honour to farewell the aircraft.
There is a video display in the bomb bay of the B-52. Let's have a look. The Wasp gyrocopter was assembled in Darwin in the 1980s, but never flown. The gyrocopter is an aircraft with a rotor like a helicopter, but the rotor is not powered by an engine. The forward motion makes the rotor turn, causing the craft to rise. Australian designed and built in Sydney. The Skycraft Scout is powered by a lawnmower motor. It was the first modern ultralight to fly in the Territory. However, it was airborne for only some 20 hours in total. The Hovey Delta Bird was the first ultralight aircraft to be built completely in the NT. It was first flown on 20th February 1989 by Ron Lawford for 31 minutes. The Mirage 1110 was delivered to the RAAF on the 3rd of May 1966. On the 27th of May 1985, the aircraft, being flown by Flight Lieutenant John Quaife, crashed on the Ludmilla mudflats in Darwin. Quaife was able to eject at 1,000 feet and landed safely in mangroves with only minor injuries. The unmanned aircraft conducted a controlled landing on the mudflats and was recovered largely intact. It was acquired by the Aviation Heritage Centre of Darwin on the 23rd of November 2005, where it is currently on display.
Tiger Moth de Havilland DH-82 first flew in 1931 and was one of a long line of successful de Havilland biplanes. It was the basic trainer in World War II, and as war surplus, they were used by aero clubs for flying training for many years afterwards. There are still many examples flying around the world today.
The first US Army helicopter, designed to perform attack missions, initially flew in 1965. Developed in only 6 months, Snakes saw extensive combat in Vietnam beginning in June 1967 and served in all US peacekeeping operations for over 20 years. The Westland Wessex helicopter, number 812, was one of 6 that assisted in the cleanup of Darwin following Cyclone Tracy in January 1975 while based on HMAS Melbourne. It was damaged during Kangaroo 89 and then was repaired at HMAS Coonawarra for display and subsequently presented to the museum in March 1990 as our first major exhibit. The McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet is a multi-role fighter aircraft capable of air-to-air and air-to-ground missions. The RAAF selected the Hornet to replace the aging Mirage 3 in 1981. This Avon Sabre has pride of place in the museum. Made under license to the North American company by the Commonwealth Aircraft Corp, but using the British Rolls-Royce Avon RA7 axial flow jet engine, this aircraft was noticeably faster in climb and top speed than the US version. The F-111 is an all-weather attack aircraft featuring variable geometry, or swing wings, and an internal weapons bay and side-by-side crew seating in a crew escape module. In 1963, the Australian government ordered 24 F-111Cs to replace the Canberra bomber. The Spitfire, Great Britain, 1944. This replica was constructed in Queensland and flown to Darwin in an RAAF Hercules in October 1991. The replica was originally painted in the colours of Group Captain Clive Caldwell. After 13 years and many moves to air shows and other display locations, the replica was fully refurbished and given a new colour scheme. This is a Dodge weapons carrier. This vehicle was equipped with a rear-mounted .50 caliber machine gun. This Rutan Long-Ease aircraft was built in Darwin by Ron and Annabelle Lawford. Construction commenced in late 1983 and the aircraft's first flight was 29 December 1986. This aircraft has flown over 1,450 hours to all locations in Australia. This B-25D was assigned to the USAAF's bomb squadron and was flown to Townsville prior to flying to New Guinea.
Missions were conducted against strongholds, including Rabaul, Wewak, Madang, and Gazmata.
This is a Curtiss P-40E Kitty Hawk wing. In July 1942, 2 Kitty Hawk aircraft were involved in a mid-air collision near Manton Dam, south of Darwin. This is part of the wing from the wreckage. The museum has Darwin's best stocked aircraft model kit and souvenir shop. There is a wide variety of souvenirs, caps, models, and books.